I've been very fortunate over these last couple of days that Sam has been able to let me use the ute while I work out exactly what I want to replace this thing with. What's up guys? Hope you're all having an amazing day and welcome back to the videos where today we are going to be putting back together the RX7, and it came in perfect timing because you guys would have seen in the last video, Skyline unfortunately has left us. We've got a guy picking it up today, so if I'm a little bit sad in this video, please try and understand why. I absolutely love this car and hopefully one day I might be able to buy it back, but we'll see, probably not. Anyway, I have some super baller parts that I haven't shown you guys just yet for the RX7. Now this might take you back a little bit, you might think I'm redoing the entire lot, but believe it or not, this is all the pipe work that we've just gone and had HPC coated, and it looks just incredible. So this right here is the original manifold that Dan fabbed up for us, the vent to atmosphere wastegate, as well as the turbo housing, the dump pipe, and I got the turbo back as well, which I'm super stoked about. Now, yeah, it's all black now. So I'm gonna start working on the engine bay and basically start to make everything look a little bit more aesthetically pleasing, so that way we can go through and paint the car very soon, which I'm very happy about. Now, what is all that black stuff there? So this stuff right here though isn't just going to make everything look a whole lot nicer, but it's actually Hpc coating. Now you guys already may have heard of this stuff, but basically it is a ceramic coating for your exhaust parts, and what it does is it basically keeps heat inside the pipework and doesn't let it sort of go past that point. I don't know exactly how to explain it, but basically it is one of the most effective ways that you can heat manage your car, and especially for the RX7 where we have melted already multiple lines in our very short time of driving this car. I thought we would go ahead, pull the entire lot off. So today we're going to be putting the entire car back together. We're going to be cleaning up some of my horrible lines and making everything look a whole lot nicer down here. But first of all, we have to measure up some lines. So I'm going to go through, put the manifold back in, put the turbo exhaust housing back in, and put the turbo back in. And that way what we can do is we can measure up where exactly we need our two coolant lines to now run, because yeah, we kind of melted them off. Yeah. Alrighty, so now the manifold's all mocked up. What we can do now is we can go through and mock up the turbo. So I have the turbo sitting here in two pieces. We're going to quickly build that, and then we can mock it up and see exactly where we need to run our coolant lines. So let's quickly do that. I cannot express to you guys enough how good this HPC coating looks. It looks so good. So good. Okay, so that's the turbo all mocked up, and man, that coating looks so freaking good. So I love the black down there. I honestly think that when we do the entire engine bay, we're gonna do, I kind of just want to leave like the Grady V-mount and everything like that exposed and polish it up a little bit, but I might do like the HPC coating polish, I think. But what we'll also do is we'll do everything else black. So we'll have like a yellow bay, but everything else black, try and delete as much as I can, like try and delete the whole ABS module and everything else as well. Just try and leave as little in the bay as possible. But yeah, we'll try and keep this nice big turbo like this, I think. God, it looks good. Looks so good. So you guys might be able to notice just how little room we have down there. I'm honestly thinking, it's gonna be a little bit iffy, but I'm honestly thinking I might go over the top. I think that'll free up a little bit of space down the bottom, because we don't have, I mean, we have this amount of room, but I don't think it's enough. I honestly do not think it's enough. And look at my ABS module, ABS sensor down there. Yeah, she's melted too. But yes, no, I don't think there's enough room down there to actually put a proper line without hitting on the chassis or anything along those lines. Plus, there's no room for P-clamps or anything down there. There's no available holes. So I think I might have to just go over the top. I think it'll be a little bit nicer just doing a one loop straight around. and then I can do like a 90 into that. I feel like that'll be way nicer, and then I can run the other one straight down, straight to the return. So let's do that. I think that'll be quite lovely. Check out all of this though. God damn. God, it looks so good. Man, I'm gonna HPC coat everything. It looks so good. God damn. What is going on, guys? I hope you're all having a good night, and welcome back to the videos. Well, I hope everyone's having a good night, apart from the one local female that reversed into Sarah's car this afternoon without leaving a note. Man, it freaking sucks. I just fixed up all the front end after I had a little bit of a bingle in it, and now she's got a big nasty dent in it. I hate people sometimes. Today, we are getting the car ready for a massive event that we're going to called Bad Ideas on Friday. Is the car ready? Hell no, it's not ready. We have a few things left to do. Basically, I've just started mocking up the turbo and everything because we had those horrible overheating issues with the, well, not overheating issues, the coolant stayed fine. However, we have an issue now where the turbo keeps melting coolant lines, and that is obviously not ideal. So we have a few things that we can do to make all that work tonight. So you guys haven't probably seen in any of my videos recently, but yes, I ended up cooking a coolant line. It absolutely failed. It was terrible. I had heat sleeving and everything, but basically the AN line was so close and heated up so much that everything that was coming out of the turbo just cooked that line, and it is absolutely destroyed. So I went off and got some Teflon braid. So the boys at Motorsports Accessories hooking me up once again with some Teflon braid and a whole bunch of fittings and everything, so that's all gonna go quite nicely. I sent my wastegate away to go get ceramic coated as well as rebuilt by the boys at Turbo Smart, which I'm super happy about, so massive shout out to Frederick at Turbo Smart for getting me sorted with that, as well as we have the dump pipe, all the heat shielding that we can possibly have, and massive thank you to another friend of mine who gave me all this heat shielding and everything he had lying around, which was amazing. But yes, everything we have now had HPC coated. So I don't know if you guys can see down here, but everything, the manifold, I'm about to take it all back out so we can go mock up some stuff, but everything has all been ceramic coated now, and it looks absolutely beautiful. So we have 2 afternoons to get this all ready, and yeah, been working like crazy. We just got back from Melbourne as well. I was hoping to have a little bit more time to put it all back together, but I highly doubt it, and I need one night at least to get this thing running and bled up so we can take it straight away at 8 o'clock on Friday morning to Bad Ideas. So fingers crossed everything works out well, and we can get this all sorted. So I'm probably just gonna put you guys in a time lapse, get everything sorted, and work out exactly what I wanna do. But first of all, I need to heat wrap the manifold. That's gonna be one of the things I need to do, so we'll do that. Hell yeah. Alrighty, do I have any idea what I'm doing? No. Am I gonna attempt it? Yes. I'm pretty sure you should put this stuff in water, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna go in raw and see how we go. So not gonna lie, my first time trying to like heat wrap something actually turned out pretty well. I'm not like the most fussed about the top bit there. It was really difficult around the wastegate, but I'm pretty sure that like the coverage is all there. This side looks better. This side looks heaps better. So I'm stoked at that, but now that we've heat wrapped this can go in the car for the very last time, then I can start mocking up where the wastegate goes again, because Turbo Smart rebuilt it, but they put these both on the same side and I was having clearancing issues with the dump, so I'm gonna have to pop that open, rebuild that real quick. But aside from that, the exhaust manifold can come out the car or can go back in the car for the very last time, which I'm pretty stoked for, so let's do that. I'm trying so hard not to touch it. Gotcha. All right, now comes the fun bit of having to reseat this. I need to move that top portion around probably about, I don't know, 30, 35 degrees or so. So I'm gonna do that, but we have no vise. So I'm gonna use the good old fashioned plank of wood on the board, plank of wood on the ground, and stand on the top of it. I have a feeling I'm gonna burn myself, so I'm gonna film it just in case it's funny. It's kind of like playing and changing over springs. Whew, alrighty, there we go. So now I can clock it to about there. Press it back down, get it to seat. Oh God. Yes, boy. Whew, that's what you want. That's the most ideal way. Alright. I really need to get a vise. Alright, so now that that's all sorted, what we can do is basically route my wastegate. So the top port faces straight up, the bottom port faces down. That's what we want right there, so we have enough clearance. Beautiful. Alright, let's mount that for the last time and leave it a little bit slack so we can play around with the gate a little bit, but should be good. Actually, I might put the gate on first. That might be a good idea. Just before we go any further, can we just appreciate how good Hpc Coating is? And massive, massive thank you to Thermal Edge Coatings in Brendale for smashing this out for me within a week. You guys are the best. So, man, rightio, so the noisemaker's going in. Try to make it nice and neat and not scratch anything. Okay, when you're doing these, you never forget. Never, ever, 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 ever forget. I forgot I dropped it down the bottom of the car. These things right here, they sit in there, they sit in there. Don't ever forget them, because that'll be a mad exhaust leak. So one thing I just was told from my good friend Sam, who is a mechanic, which I basically do everything and then I send it to him and he goes, should have done it this way. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I probably should have. He just let me know that I thought you had to, I did think you had to soak fiberglass wrap, and you do. Because what happens is it expands and then it shrinks once it's all dry. I did pull it extremely tight and hold it in place while it was all there, so I'm not worried about it slipping down and doing anything. Plus it's all been coated, so I'm not too fussed. But definitely when I do the dump pipe, I will be definitely getting it all wet and then doing it all properly. So yeah, should have done that beforehand, but that's okay. We can deal with that. The lines, the wastegate lines are all done, so you guys can see they're all very pretty. I used a little P-clamp there. It's probably the most amazing thing I've done. But yes, that is all looking pretty tasty down there. So the next step is to mock up some turbo lines. So I have Teflon braid -6, and I got a whole heap of lines here, so I'm gonna make something work. It's gonna be nice and fun. So let's get to it right now. All right, so this is gonna be a new thing that I'm gonna be testing out with the FD. So I can't exactly get in there and press any more fittings into the actual block itself. It's a little bit difficult, and I just don't have any room. Plus, the car is getting painted soon, so we are gonna be working with that. However, what I've come up with a little bit of a solution is we have, as you can see, those little bulbs down there. Now this is your water feed, and down there is your water return. Absolutely terrible. It's annoying, but what we can do is we can basically put two bulbs there and run a little tiny length of rubber hose, and then I've put that onto a 45, which is going to shoot that straight up and straight over here. And I'll see if I can mock up exactly what the line's sort of going to look like. So you, it's going to be difficult to try and find a spot for you guys. Okay, that's good enough. You can kind of get it. A little tiny piece of line from a 45. From there, it's going to have a little tiny bend over the top of the turbo right there. And I don't know if you can really see that right there. Well, there you go. So we're going to shoot that straight over the top of the turbo like that. So it's not going to be the highest point, which is also a really good thing, because we can bleed it, and it's going to be nice and heat resistant. Plus, we're getting it up and out the way of that exhaust housing right there, so we can get that all sorted. So I'm going to make up some lines real quick, and it should be nice and simple. Alrighty guys, it is the next afternoon, well, next night actually. This wasn't supposed to be starting this early. I was supposed to be riding home, but fortunately it was raining, so I had to take the work at home. But Got the two boys. Don't you dare try. Oh my God. Alfie, hey. All right, so the boys are just going at it. But either way, I've made up some lines. So I know this might look a little bit weird to you guys, but Teflon line is super, super, super difficult to try and make work around corners. Plus we have to get to that really annoying barb, which now I've taken the turbo off. I can sort of show you guys exactly where they sit. Really, really horrible location. Works perfectly for the standard stuff, but yes. So what I've done is I've gone to a barb and then to a rubber line right there, which is going to be completely fine. So we have Teflon to rubber, which I'm stoked about. So we're gonna do all that. And what else do we have down here? Oh, and I have another line as well, which I made up, which I haven't shown you guys, which is this one right here. So this is the bottom radiator hose right there. Oh no, sorry, this is the top. That one there's the bottom. It's looking a little bit funny. And then this one right here, I picked up from Motorsports Accessories today. Once again, massive, massive shout out to the guys at Motorsports Accessories that hooked me up with this AN or -10 AN stainless steel drain that's all flexy and all cool. So I'm gonna try and make this work a little bit better around the dump pipes, that way we don't have any issues. One theory I did actually have in regards to all the heat sleeving and everything else that's all over the turbo. I'm a little bit, I don't know what to do. So I could go along and I could fire sleeve the entire lot once again. However, it gets a little bit difficult because I kind of have a theory, this is just me, that all the rubber lines that I had disintegrate on me were all due to... What on earth are you two doing? Douglas, get off him. Douglas, hey, what are you guys doing? Alright, so let us play fight and they haven't. It was all really close to the turbo and it was always the drain. So like the return of something. So the return of oil, the return of coolant. So I don't know, I really think that fire sleeve is actually not allowing those fittings, I guess, get enough cool air around that turbo now that we've got that V-mount and everything else as well. I'm gonna wrap this up as well and I'm gonna do a yellow carbon bonnet. So hopefully we can relieve some of that heat around there. But I kind of want to put these Teflon lines on and see how they hold up for the first couple of drives. I'm going to Lakeside this Friday, which is going to be a lot of fun. So I just want to put these lines on. I have to take the coolant system apart again anyway in the future to put the coolant temp sensor in. But aside from that, I have a feeling that the fire sleeve is keeping the heat inside those lines, and because the fiberglass is not allowing it to escape, and basically the braided lines are just cooking themselves where those AN lines attach. So I don't know, I could be wrong, but I'm gonna see how I go. I have a theory, it could be wrong, but we'll see how we go. Let's do it. Let's see how we go. Can we just get a quick doggo check? What are we doing, doggos? Look how big Alfie is now. And look how big Douglas is. Hello, Mr. Douglas. How are you? We got two sausages. Beautiful. Righto, so this is going to be a little bit of interesting fun. Trying to get the turbo back in. So I got a new T3 gasket. I've also, I don't know if you guys can see down there, but I've chucked a 90 on the drain down there. So that way we can try and prop it up in front of everything else. And fingers crossed we can bend that little bendy hose around. Because this has to go on before anything else, and then everything else can be done whilst everything's on top. So, oh God. Anyway, this hopefully is the last time that everything goes back together. So I'm just going to double check everything, make sure everything's all tight, and then we'll put it all back together. So, all right, this could be a little bit of fun. I'm guessing this part here is going to be very fiddly. There's a lot of slack on that hose that I need to pick up. All right, I'm going to put a bolt in there so that everything sits all tight, and then I'm going to start mocking up all these lines around the turbo while Alfie's choking on tools. Okay, that was a nightmare, but the lines are done and it looks mint. So coolant time it is, and then whilst it's self-bleeding we can do the dump and then we can start her up. I'll do a little test start just to make sure nothing's leaking, but yes. Rightio. The time has come where I've got the whole car finished, dump pipes back on. We're probably gonna have a massive exhaust leak because I'm terrible at sitting that dump V-band, but yes, all the lines are back on now. Everything's looking really tasty. So I'm just gonna check everything before I put the turbo beanie and everything else back on. Everything's all been heat treated. All the lines around the turbo have been upgraded apart from the oil feed, which was already Teflon. So fingers crossed, everything just works. Whew. Actually, I just remembered I haven't got a hose clamp tight. I'll be right back. Rightio, time to turn her on. I have not heard this car run in a good month or so, I think. And it's gonna be freaking loud and freaking smoky. Tomorrow afternoon is gonna be my proper, start this thing up and let it idle and do stuff. But tonight, hopefully I should just be able to check for leaks. So let's do that. Everything's tight. Ugh. Can't wait to hear this thing again. No charge whatsoever. Did not think so. Yep, no, she's definitely not going. Let's give her a quick charge. It is the next night, well that's all I'll say. I had a little bit of an issue with the V-band. Might have over tightened it, I might have snapped it, but either way we got a new V-band and we're all sorted. Now, one thing that has bugged me about this car ever since I got it was one of the first things that I saw, and I was like, yeah, they'll be cheap enough, we'll just replace them. And lo and behold, every single thing that I buy for this car is so expensive, and this is no exception. So anyway, these lights right here, the combination lamps I like to call them in Japan, I don't know if you guys can see them, but they are so sun faded. Cracked all the way up through there, all the way along the bottom, they're all cracked. And exactly the same as this side here. So I treated myself. The car's not running, hasn't run for a long time, but I'm like, you know what? I give my car something new every time I get it back on the road. As a little bit of a good luck, even though it hasn't been good luck, but bought some brand new lights. They're not OEM, but they look freaking amazing. Ooh yeah. I haven't actually opened these just yet. I'm so excited to see them. Oh my god. I'm probably gonna leave this plastic on while I install it, but okay, let me put the camera down. Oh my god. Oh my god. I am so in love. Bro, look how much nicer they are. Alright. Let's chuck these in. I do not want to drop these. They're very expensive. Whew. So for people that are using Garage Alpha headlights, you can actually modify this clip at the back and cut off the two middle-sized opposite ends, and you can actually twist that in. This one here fits up perfectly, so I can just use the OEM. So this is the old, maybe you guys can probably see it, and this right here is the new. You probably can't see too much, but god damn, that looks so good. Alright, I'll properly check them and make sure I've done the right wiring and should be good. So you can actually see down there that that one's a very flat sort of lens backing, whereas this one here is a very sort of cool looking effect down there. I actually prefer it a lot more than that right there. That looks sick. So much better. Alright, I'm gonna do the other side. Hell yeah.